You're listening to the Talking Walls fans' reactions for the 24-25 Premier League season.
So it's finished Wolves 1, Ipswich 2. Sam jumping back on the channel again. To give you some key points in the game, which was absolutely horrendous. There's loads to go through there, but I was so sapped of energy, so sapped of confidence. And it's just me, not even the players, let alone the results of that. Absolutely deflated, so deflated. He knew it was going to come. I think the team sheet was wrong from the start. The Bellegarde inclusion, the midfield balance wasn't right between Bellegarde midfield and Andre and Lamina. He's having to make changes. He went along, but that killed him really. Bellegarde had a really good chance in the first half that he should have scored, and that would have been a big turning point in the game. Ipswich weren't very good, but they just knocked the balls into the channels and trying to chase things down. Very much championship tactics for a lot of it. Semedo should have lot better for that first goal. When it was played in behind, I mean, Lee and Delap just held him up. He was scared to foul him. He couldn't. Semedo didn't deal with the situation very well. But I think that was just it, really, in terms of team selection. In terms of the back line, that absolutely killed him, didn't it? In terms of what he was trying to do, and it was such players playing the wrong positions, that sort of stuff. It kills you. I mean, if that had been Mascara, I know it's obviously injuries and stuff, but if that had been Mascara, for example, with that situation, there's no way in a million years Liam's Lap would have got that ball down to the bar line and back across again. So, no chance whatsoever. Half time comes, and obviously makes a few changes here. And Tommy Doyle comes at half time, gets applauded by the home fans as he's warming up. And as soon as he came on, he got the tempo up. He started passing, balls in behind. There was then space to play the balls out wide. It was someone on the ball looking for a pass, and then automatically, because we had someone who could pick a pass in midfield, rather than Andre and Lamina. As soon as Doyle got on the ball, which he got on loads, and he was always ready to show for it, Ipswich just dropped another 20 yards back. Then it makes a big difference. Then you've got players who can run in behind. Guedes came on. He was fantastic again. I've been crying out for Guedes for ages. People say on here, people say on the podcast, don't really saw what Guedes does. And I don't understand if people are saying this. I know his work rate, his body language isn't always great, but he contributes to the game every time he plays. He contributes. I mean, he knows how to pick a pass at the right time and run at the back line. He'll play somebody else in. For the Kuna goal, he just plays a perfectly ball in behind. It's so simple. Takes it on the half turn, runs, and plays in Kuna. It's half a chance, to be fair. And Kuna's really well his weak foot to bury that. And then after that, it was panic stations for Ipswich. They were on the ropes. We were battering him. He was putting balls across the box. Guedes again rolled his defender, put a cracking ball across for Larson. Just went wide. If that had gone in, I think we'd have won the game. We had a couple of good chances where Aït-Nouri got some balls across. Tommy Doyle had a few shots as well. Ipswich began to panic, and then for about the last 4 minutes of the game, at 90th minute onwards, including extra time, we just got knackered. We got absolutely, Aït-Nouri's legs are gone, Lamina's legs are gone. We got so tired. Then we sat back. I think Gary O'Neill told Guedes to play right wing back. He dropped back in there, further than that side, and then it just became. And then the ball comes in, and then Totti heads out for a corner. And it didn't even need to be a corner really. If his positioning was better, that could have been a throw in. And if you watch Gary O'Neill, I saw Gary O'Neill in the corner of my eye then. Kicked a water bottle down the tunnel like he knew what was going to happen, and we all knew what was going to happen. The ball comes in, then we concede again from a set piece, free header. I'm not even sure it was close. I think Santiveno was fairly close, should have been closer. Maybe Aït-Nouri should have got off the ground. I'm not 100% aids to that back, but you just knew that was coming. And today was a must not lose game today. It really was a must not lose game, and we've lost it. And I think you lose to Leicester. I said this a while ago, and I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, saying even if the turnaround Lopetegui did was easy compared to this. Whoever they don't sack him, definitely going down. Whoever comes in though, if they ever do, this would be a bigger turnaround than whatever Lopetegui did for certain. If you try and get out of this, Leicester next again, another massive game. Fans deflated, players fighting, carrying each other, arguing with themselves, all that sort of stuff for a second game on the bounce. It's just embarrassing now. It's just. The dressing room must be a horrendous place to be at the moment. And a lot of it does lie with Fosun, but a lot of it lies with Gary O'Neill as well, his team selection and what he's putting out there. This team aren't coached very well. Simple as not coached well at all. And he needs to go now. And if he's not, he should be gone. He shouldn't. Hopefully by the time he goes out, he's gone. Just put everybody out of the misery. Give us a bit of hope. Sack him. And then we can move on. Leicester next game. Massive game again. Hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. See you in a bit.
Well, in the words of Gary Lineker, if you're joining us tonight, you must be suckers for punishment, because that was an absolute embarrassment from Wolves. Not from start to finish, but again, being done out by another set-piece goal. I mean, we're talking 16 set-piece goals, I think, now conceded this season. Absolutely pathetic defending. And again, I mean, the thing is, everyone knew this was coming. Well, I'd written a nice little sheet of notes detailing my thoughts on the game. All of that out the window now, because we've thrown it all away. All the good work we did in the second half to create good chances, another really well-worked goal, all thrown away again by just completely non-existent man marking. It's beyond, it's beggars belief how this hasn't been sorted yet. And the owners have the cheek, Fosun have the cheek, Jeff Shea has the cheek to come out before this game this week and say that negativity achieves nothing and we've got to be positive. What have we got to be positive about? I'm sat here at 2 a.m, right? God knows why, it's my own fault, but I'm sat here at 2 a.m, having to somehow digest what I've just seen, watching us concede another set-piece goal. When we've conceded so many of them this season, the problem hasn't been sorted. We sacked the set-piece coach. That hasn't made a difference, obviously, to save face. It's just so frustrating. And, for large parts of that game, we just look completely void of ideas. The amount of long balls that went straight to the goalkeeper was beyond beggars belief. I couldn't believe how bad we were on the ball. As soon as we got the ball, Ipswich pressed really well. When Ipswich had the ball, we pressed in sort of these weird blocks. We had sort of the front three going forward, and then the midfield wasn't tracking, and then we ended up with all these big spaces, and Ipswich just sort of played around us, and we didn't get a grip of things up until, sort of midway through the second half, where we really started to create chances, got the goal. But again, the defending, I mean, both goals we conceded today. Semedo, yes, he's the new captain, and I love Semedo, but he's got to do better for the first goal. Gets completely done by Delap. Fortunate goal for Ipswich. They worked it well, but the own goal is fortunate for them, unfortunate for us. But they deserved it with how good their pressing was. And then the second goal, again, look, we don't have to bang on about it. Set pieces again. But the club at the moment, I mean, I've been a Wolves fan since the 10-11 season. I got into football a little bit late, and this is the worst I've felt about the state of affairs since the double relegation. It's that bad. I mean, going back to that season we went down under McCarthy, it's like Groundhog Day. Players fighting amongst themselves, owners leaving the manager out to dry. Managers just can't seem to get anything out of them. Poor decisions in terms of the captaincy, toxicity around the ground. Just it's like the stuffing's been knocked out of us as a club. Chance against Fosun today, and rightly so. I mean, the ownership have dragged us into this mess and have the gall to tell us to be positive. Just despondent, to be honest. Lacklustre. It was flat today. Despite us creating a really decent amount of good chances, we didn't take them, and we get sucker punched again, and we never seem to learn our lessons. And again, Ait-Nouri, things boiling over with him at the end. Just disappointing, to be honest. It's 2 weeks in a row now we've had players lose our heads after a game, and it's not a good look. And I'm seriously concerned. To be honest, for me, this result means we're as good as down. You can analyse the games all you want, and I was planning on doing that and analysing what was a lucky but a well fought draw. All of that out the window with a really, really terrible goal conceded. Again, just lack of rhythm, lack of any sort of idea. The players look lost. The club itself looks lost. We have no real sort of identity. And every week, I'm wondering why I'm still staying up for these games, and just trying to at least be there in some regards for the team. But it's hard when you're getting let down every week. I feel so sorry for the fans that are having to fork out as much money as they are to watch this, to watch a team of good individuals not performing as a team and throwing points away. It's all well and good collapsing and looking sad at the end of the game and posting things on Instagram, but if it's not going to change, then, you know, you've got to show on the pitch that you're willing to do what it takes to win games, and the team aren't doing it at the moment. We desperately need a change of management from the top down. Fosun, Jeff Shee, absolute embarrassment, have been bleeding this club dry. We've got over 100 million profit. What Premier League team is going to progress with £100 million of profit? It's absolutely ridiculous. We've burned any chance that we have of getting a half-decent manager in. Yeah, just frustrating, embarrassing. I could go on for weeks, but it's, you know, for not wanting the video to go on too long, we've sort of got to just, hopefully things will sort of figure themselves out, but I think for at the moment we're as good as down, and just really disappointing. And I feel sorry for the fans that have to go and watch that week in, week out. A lot of you work very hard for that money, spend that money, and it's being thrown God knows where into a club that is failing, a Premier League club that is failing, and a club that will be in big trouble if we go down. So yeah, it's despondent. Just despondency and sadness is what I'm feeling. It's just sad to see what is such a great club being subjected to this sort of mismanagement of the highest order. It's not right. It's got to be put right, God knows how, but got to have a change in manager at least for the time being, and hopefully that will give the players a kick up the backside. But things aren't ever going to change under this ownership. Rinse and repeat, the same thing every year. It's not good enough.
Well, another Wolves game, another absolute nonsense once again. Just feels like the same thing happening over and over again, really. And O'Neill can't survive that, surely. I feel like I've been saying that for months now, but really don't see how he stays in the job, and not even just because of the results. I mean, before we got the equaliser, there's no structure, there's no patterns of play. There's just nothing really. And take the press for example. We just press in ones and twos. There's no structure to that team at all. Just no press, no midfield. We had no midfield control right from the start to the end of the game. Swapped Andre for Doyle at half time, which made a little bit of a difference, but again, doesn't actually change anything. And when he did change something, went 4 up top, we did look a lot better. But the other thing I don't understand is how we've equalised, we've huffed and puffed, and we're pressing and we're getting up the pitch and we're trying to score a second. And then about 5 minutes from the end, we just all look absolutely knackered and don't do anything at all. And I think at the end of the game, before we conceded that corner, there's 8 blokes just stood on the edge of the 18-yard line, just in a completely straight line. There's just nothing. There's just nothing there at all. And the ball, as soon as that ball goes the side of the corner flag that it did, and it goes out for a corner, you know what's happening. You know the goal's coming. Lo and behold, whips it in and he scores. And Ain't Nori again at the end, losing his head completely. Dawson's having to pick him up and drag him down the tunnel. You know, that's Sarr trying to fight the fans. Lamina trying to fight everybody. Ain't Nori kicking off at whoever he's kicking off at, who knows. But O'Neill's just lost that. He's lost the dressing room. There's no discipline. There's no structure. Just nothing. And something's got to change. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So, you know, he can't be surviving that today. It's just awful. Sooner he goes, the better.
I can't believe I've voluntarily put myself in a position where I have to talk about and relive Wolves games for everyone else to listen to. We all saw what happened today. On and off the pitch, really toxic, really poor. Probably one of the poorest performances for the first 60 minutes of the game that I've seen since, last week and the week before and the week before. Nothing's changing. News in midweek that we're going to stick by Gary O'Neill and he'll fight us through and we're going to invest in January. Nothing is saving this team. Nothing. It's full of spineless cowards with a lack of quality all around the pitch and a lack of desire and fight. How are you expecting, as a Premier League team fighting for your life, for survival, to play for 20 minutes of a Premier League game and get a result? Ipswich deserved that today. They actually fought and battled for 60 minutes, the first 60 minutes of the game, and they deserved the win. We turned up for 15 or 20 minutes at the end, wasted a whole bunch of chances, and then we're knackered. And you just knew when that corner went out in the 94th minute, you just knew exactly what was going to happen. You just knew. I'd say you couldn't write the script, but actually you could. You could. I could have written that. A 9-year-old that's watched even 2 or 3 of our games this season could have written that script. And there's a lot of discontent for Jeff Shee and Fosun and Gary O'Neill in the stands. But again, a lot of that performance, the players have to take on their shoulders as well. We're poorly coached. We're poorly owned. Those are obvious facts. But this team is embarrassing. Embarrassing. There are professional footballers out there being paid 4,000 times more than your local brickie or plumber or that you know down the road, that aren't asked at all about coming every weekend and performing for the fans that spend their hard-earned money on escaping their shit life in a shit country for just 90 minutes. And there's zero respect between the fans and the players. Do we get clapped at the game? Yeah, half-heartedly. Does Gary O'Neill pull his players back into the dressing room to have a go at them? He's probably not even having a go at them. Probably, well, unlucky lads, it was against the run of play, we'll go again next week. It's not fucking good enough, is it? It's not fucking good enough. Zero effort. Professional footballers, international footballers that can't pass the ball, can't take a touch. Zero fight. Half of them already look like they've been relegated 10 games ago. It's a joke. A joke, and it starts at the top and works its way down. Every single person at this football club is rotten to the core. Rotten. We're losing our minds at the end of games. Lamina last week, Rain this week. They've already forfeit in their mind. They've already resigned to the fact that we're down. Zero fights. And no one wants to take responsibility. The only person that can come up with some credit today out of the entire performance is Tommy Doyle. And Tommy Doyle got the loudest cheer at half-time for just warming up that I'd heard all game. And he was the only one that I thought was actually trying. Him and maybe Guedes. But Jesus Christ. This is horrendous to watch. And I'm spending 750 quid a year for this. Oh, it's just embarrassing. It's a waste of money, time, effort. No one cares at that football club anymore about us. About the fans. No one gives a shit. Jeff Shee certainly doesn't. He's not even in the fucking stadium. He's in China with fucking Fosun. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. It's a joke. It's a joke, and how Gary O'Neill still has a job after the last 4 weeks blows my fucking mind off. No, what? I'll tell you how. Nobody fucking wants this job. It's a sinking ship. Why would you even want to take the job? Jesus Christ. I don't know if I can go on talking about Wolves at the end of games. I don't want to relive what I have to watch for 90 minutes every single week.
It's finished Wolves 1, Ipswich 2. I'd say it's a sickening way to lose the game in the 93rd minute, but you could see it coming an absolute mile off. We are quite the embarrassment at the moment on and off the pitch. I've got no sort of hope that we're going to be able to stay in this league. I don't think we're good enough to stay up. I don't think the manager's good enough to stay up. I don't think the players have got enough bollocks until it's after the game when they want to scrap everybody. We look so void of any sort of confidence going forward and at the back. The manager's saying how we're working on set pieces and things in training. How do you work at set pieces all week at training and then concede a 93rd minute winner to a bloke who's free in the middle of the box and is allowed to head into the back of the net? I don't quite understand that, if I'm honest. I think it's been pretty much said now that he needs to be sacked. He should have gone after Brentford, really. That was the time to pull the trigger. We had a break, international break, where he could have gone. the last 2 defeats, he should have gone as well. But these inept, rotten wankers of owners are so hell-bent on keeping him in just because he's the cheap choice. And they don't have to pay him out. And then they could spend probably 10 million on buying another goalkeeper in January to try and keep us up. But as far as I can see, our time in this league is done now, I'd say. You thought, yeah, tough run of fixtures to start it. And apparently this is the good run of fixtures that we're having now, and those end after next week against Leicester. That's going to be tough. We never win there, so that'll be another tough game to go into next week. Needing 3 points, but I can't see anything other than a loss again. We are so easy to play against. We're so easy to read. We're so easy to just play around. It's absolutely ridiculous. We looked like we wanted to press for about 20 minutes, and I've never seen a group of players look absolutely shagged after running for 20 minutes than these lot today on the pitch. Something's not right within this club at the moment, and it stems from the top. So until those are gone, which I don't think they will, because they're happy to just be by the looks of it. So until they're gone, Wolverhampton Wanderers are doomed, and you can see that. And as much as I hate to say it, we are absolutely shocking. I hate going to watch them. I hate having to wait my whole week to try and rectify another loss, but at the moment we just keep losing. So, yeah, on to Leicester next Sunday, which will be a really tough game. Who gives a shit anymore? Wolverhampton Wanderers are down, and I'm happy to say that it is what it is. So we move on to the Championship next season. Cheers for having me on, lads. I'll see you again soon.
So Wolves 1, Ipswich 2. Yeah, just embarrassing. Just really bad. I've had a couple of Guinness, so take what I say with a pinch of salt, but I think I might need a few more, because that was dreadful. That was just absolutely dreadful. Just no passion, just spineless, just everything. Just lacked anything from Wolves today. Just from the players to the staff to the manager, just absolutely nothing. It was, we had a good 20 minutes ish when we scored the goal, and we put a bit of pressure on Ipswich. But apart from that, it's probably one of the easiest games Ipswich will have all season. I thought we was awful, and players. I'm sorry if this may be a little bit of a rant, but I just need to get on my chest. Players like Aït-Nouri, I love Aït-Nouri. He's probably one of my favourite players at Wolves at the moment, and I've defended him to the hill. But kind of his performance and his attitude off the pitch was just embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. That's one of the worst performances I've seen. Just no passion, just no desire at all. Just strolling around the pitch. Just honestly awful today, Aït-Nouri. But when he gets off the pitch, he wants to scrap people and fight people, and it's just embarrassing. Like, why don't you show some of that passion in the game instead of off the pitch wanting to scrap people? It's honestly embarrassing from every single player today. I thought they were all awful. I thought Cunha, Tommy Doyle were probably the only ones which wanted to show passion and wanted to win and wanted to fight for the badge. The rest of them just didn't care. And I know it's this whole thing where all the players are still on side with O'Neill, but it didn't show like that today. Honestly, just embarrassing from start to finish. And again, another set piece goal. As soon as they got that corner, I knew. I said to everyone around me, I said to my dad, mates, I said, this is going in. They're scoring this. I just knew it. 90 seconds, 93rd minute, whatever it was. I just knew it was going in. Another set piece goal. Defending, embarrassing. Like I said, we had a good 20 minutes ish where he was putting the pressure on. Probably should have capitalised on that. There was just just wayward passes and just awful decisions, and yeah, just embarrassing. Again, I was lucky enough not to be there for the Bournemouth game, but this was probably worse than Everton. This is probably the worst, and the chants were going on about Jeff Shee and Fosun and whatever, and yeah. But like I've said before, do I really trust Fosun to make the right decision? No, not at all. But we'll see. Will Gary O'Neill be in charge by Sunday morning? Probably will. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, we thought this was a massive game. I think Leicester is, it's massive. The pinnacle. And again, will it be O'Neill in charge? Will it be Steve Davis? Will it be someone else? Will it be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Who knows? Who knows at this point? But yeah, embarrassing, and it's getting very toxic, very bleak at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Wolves 1, Ipswich 2. First half were not great. One shot on target against the team also in the relegation zone. It's just not good enough. Yes, we had chances. Bellegarde had a big chance but blazes over. Lamina outside the box, a shot, but it's well wide. The fans start to turn after the goal, and it was always going to happen. The first goal was so crucial in this game, and the way we concede it is calamitous. One ball over the top destroys us. Liam Delap bullies our defence, and then plays a good pass to Hutchinson, whose initial shot is well defended on the line by Doherty. But then it's outrageous. It's atrocious. The rebound is lashed against Totti, and Totti heads it into his own man Doherty, who converts into his own net. 1-0 down. The fans begin to turn. The first goal was vital. We did not get it, and the fans direct chance towards Fosun, and rightly so. The players look unbothered. They don't seem to hold the answer. First half ends with boos, and this is also justified. Second half starts, similar vein. Yes, we're creating a few more chances, Doyle inspirational sub at half time, but he didn't provide that spark that we needed. It would always be that man, Cunha. Halfway through the second half, just as it's about to turn, just about as it's about to get nasty once more towards the owners with more chance, he provides that spark. He provides that inspiration to us again. He is amazing, valuable, and inevitable. What a player. Even in those games when he's not as involved, when he doesn't look bothered, when he's not playing his best, he comes up with the goods. He provides that moment, and the fans always look to him to provide that inspiration. He does it again here, and the fans are suddenly back on side. We're creating chances. Lamina, Doyle with shots, when the best option may have been to play the ball out wide. That final ball just letting us down. And even when we got the final ball right with Guedes into Larson, Larson cannot convert. It's a good effort on the stretch, but it's just wide. These moments we had could have won the game for us. Cunha had a shot from a similar position, but this time it's well saved, and he blazes the rebound over. Really should do better with that one. And as we get to the 90th minute, they start attacking once more. We're hanging on here, and then they get the dreaded set piece in the 93rd minute. The result, inevitable. We all know by now. We all feel the worst whenever a team gets a set piece. 20 goals conceded from set pieces, and this would be another one. Free header from a great ball from Clark, and yeah, that is the end. 2-1 Ipswich. The game finishes. Fans frustrated, players frustrated, but they're showing it in the wrong way. Aït-Nouri then lashes out against the player once more, gets the second booking. That is a red card now, and we're down a player for Leicester. Down a very valuable player, and the lack of discipline within the team is worrying. They're showing fight, but perhaps at the wrong moments. They should be showing the fight during the game, but instead they don't seem to have the answers right now, and that is a very worrying sign. Yes, at times there was fight and small right football in the second half, but it just doesn't seem enough, and neither does luck seem to be on our side. We've moved on to Leicester. It's another massive game. We'll go there in our numbers, I'm sure, but a loss and relegation is appearing a certainty. And as for Gary O'Neill, well, it's looking likely he'll still be in charge with this 4-year deal. It's clear the problems must lie higher up with Fosun, and that is where we shall leave it. I wonder what will happen come the new year and come January.